Okay, our garlic is peeled, and the next step we're going to do is going to start cutting it. First thing I do is, if you look down here, is I'll take the stem off of the clove, okay, get rid of that, and then I take the clove and I cut it down long ways. And the reason why I cut it down long ways, if you look here, inside here, it's usually green, okay? There's a green stem, depending on how long the garlic's been sitting in the store, how long it took, time of the year, all these things come into play. So you take the stem out, if it has a little green on it. This one's really not green, but I have to show you that you're gonna wanna check that on every piece. So you take every one of your cloves and you cut them long ways, okay? This one has a little green here, and I take it off. Now the reason for taking off the green is gonna make your garlic taste bad. Now people say, oh, leave the green in because it has a lot of antioxidants in it or whatnot. What's the sense of keeping something in if it doesn't taste good, okay? So the green's gotta go. Now at this point you have them cut and you have flat spots to lay them down so they won't roll around. The next step is that you do not use one of these, okay? Don't use one of these. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you don't use one of these. For one, it's a torture device for your garlic. Don't torture your garlic, okay? And what I see wrong with this is you put your garlic in there, you squeeze it, and all the oils come out of the garlic right here instead of in the recipe as you're cooking. Okay, that's problem number one. Problem number two is it gets stuck inside its basket and you're in there trying to dig it out and get whatever pieces and cutting it off here and dealing with it, and it takes extra time and you're destroying the garlic. So if you have one of these, put it away or toss it, but don't use it when I'm showing you what to do here. You're gonna wanna do this. Okay, if you look here, you grab your knife at the bolster, you pinch it, bring your fingers around and hold it just like you would hold a bird, okay? Your other finger, keep your thumb behind your fingers or you'll cut it, I've done it. And then you just hook your finger back a little bit so the blade will slide on your knuckle, okay? Tip down and you rock. And as you go along cutting the garlic, on your left hand, you keep moving your finger back a little at a time. Because the blade is sliding up against your knuckle, you have control over the blade. Now I got it nice and thin, okay, that's thin enough. One piece isn't thin enough, but I'll show you what to do with that one, okay? When it's thin like this and you cook with it, all of the juices, all the oils and the juices out of the garlic will end up in your recipe. And this garlic as a whole, at the end of cooking, will have no flavor left to it. So if you bite into one of these pieces after you're done cooking, you won't have a raw garlic bite to it. It won't really taste like anything because it gave up all of its flavor. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time for you. Okay, tip down, rock it, take your time. If this is your first time or second time, take your time because speed comes with experience. The longer you do it, the faster you get, and you'll get faster without even realizing it. Okay, if you didn't cut it thin enough, okay, don't get discouraged. Because what you're going to want to do is just pile it up, use your fingers as a guide, tip down, and then rock, and just go along and mince it, okay? You mince it or it'll be small enough, okay? And always cut fresh garlic. I know they sell garlic minced in a jar with oil. You're not going to want to use that garlic. I tested it, and when you Cook with it. It doesn't break down. It stays hard as little chunks of garlic, and it holds on to that bite also. I guess because they store it in oil, it doesn't really give up its flavors and become soft. Okay? Now, you can use your knife to pick it up once you've done this enough times. But in the beginning, believe me, use a scraper. Scraper I bought from dollar store for $1, okay? And get your favorite tin that you're gonna always put your garlic in. You'll get one that's gonna be your favorite for garlic. Go over the top, slide underneath, flip it over, and all your garlic's inside. Maybe a little piece left there, no big deal. Nice, clean, quick. You can have a pile of garlic as tall as the bowl is deep, and that'll still work without getting your garlic all over the place, okay?